What's up, my beer bros? Maine-iac here with Week 14 NFL game picks and spread predictions like we do every week because, we have relatively good success as well, like our NBA series. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead. I do that every day. Last week, I believe, after the Monday night win, we went 14-2 for one of our best records all time. The only games we fudged last week were the Lions at the Ravens. And I thought the Lions were actually competent. And then the Redskins, Cowboys, like I said, also thought the Redskins were competent. And if they actually played decent football, they would have won. But I digress. This week we have the first game, Thursday Night Football, Saints Falcons. Saints going on the road. I believe they're going to win in the Dome or win in the new stadium, whatever it's called. They're favored by 1.5 here. I believe they cover the spread. That should be a 6-point game, I believe. COLTS Bills. Injuries to Tre'Davious White, Shaq Lawson, and Tyrod Taylor are concerning. But I'm picking the Bills to win at home. They're favored by 4. They should cover. Their defense is still solid enough that they should limit Jacoby Brissett's damage. Vikings Panthers. I'm taking the Vikings on the road here. They're favored by 2.5. They should win and cover. Their defense is possibly the best in the NFL. Bears Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals at home. They're favored by 6. Injuries to people like Vontaze Burfict, the suspension to Ioka, the injury to Mixon, those are all concerns, but it's the Bears' offense, so as long as they can stop the run game of Jordan Howard, the Bengals should be all set. Packers Browns, I'm picking the Packers on the road here. The Browns, the Packers are favored by 3.5 here. I believe they cover. Next game, 49ers Texans. 49ers are actually the underdogs here. Texans are favored by 3, but I'm taking the 49ers at home. I like what Jimmy Garoppolo showed in his last start. It was quite impressive, although he had no touchdowns and he had an interception. He had a good completion percentage. He made some good throws. I believe in his second start he'll do even better. And I believe that the Niners defense should be able to limit the damage of the Texans offense. The biggest X factor here is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. Next game, Seahawks Jaguars. I'm picking the Seahawks on the road here. The Seahawks are underdogs to the Jaguars because the Jaguars are favored by 3. But I like what the Seahawks showed me last week. They won a good game against the Eagles. If they can limit the Eagles, they should destroy Blake Bortles. The biggest question mark here is going to be Russell Wilson against the Jags secondary. Raiders Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs at home. They're favored by 4 here. I believe they win and cover. Alex Smith kind of bounced back last week. I was happy to see that. Lions Buccaneers. This one's the Alley Cat pick of the week, and she's picking the Lions. Originally, I had the Buccaneers picked and favored by because they're favored by 1, and I believe this is going to be a close game. She picked the Lions here, so I'm going to go with that. If my case for the Lions, I guess if I had to make one, would be Matthew Stafford's had a hurt hand before he can play through it. The Buccaneers defense can be exposed easily. And the Lions defense isn't all that bad, I guess. Then we have the Titans Cardinals. I'm taking the Titans on the road here. They're favored by 3. I believe they win and cover. Jets Broncos. I'm picking the Jets over the Broncos on the road. The Jets are favored by 1. I believe they win and cover. The Broncos defense offense just looks too terrible for me to pick right now. I'd honestly probably pick the Browns over the Broncos at this point. Redskins Chargers. Picking the Chargers at home here. They're favored by 6 points. I think they'll win by more. I think the Chargers are making a postseason push, and the Redskins are making a swamp dive, or whatever you want to call it. Eagles Rams. This one's good. Eagles coming off only their second loss of the season, losing to the Chiefs earlier this year, and then losing to the Seahawks. Similar teams, if you think about it. Mobile quarterback, not known for throwing the ball all the time. At the point they face, usually lockdown defenses. And I think the Rams are an even better version of those two teams. Should be a good one, though. Should be a good one. I think the Eagles lose their second in a row, which would be interesting storyline heading into the postseason. Then we have the Cowboys Giants. Cowboys should win this one easily. Cowboys are favored by 4, and I say easily. New head coach, new GM, same old Eli Manning. Dak Prescott's going to need to actually throw more than 100-something yards to win this one, though. The matchup here, if the Giants are going to win, it's going to be the secondary versus Des Bryant and Jason Witten. If that they can step up, the Giants should win this one. The Cowboys defense can be exposed, even with the limited options of weapons that the Giants have. Look for Ingram to show up big for the Giants on offense too. Ravens, Steelers. Steelers favored by 5.5 at home here. I'm going to pick the Steelers. Biggest concern for me is Ryan Shazier. He's still being evaluated at the hospital in Cincinnati, so I'm going to assume that he's not playing. Just even if he is okay, and even if he does recover, I think they'll hold him out just so he has extra time to, you know, recuperate. Then you also have the suspension of Juju Smith-Schuster against the Ravens secondary. But then again, you also have the injury of Jimmy Smith to the Ravens secondary. So the interesting thing is going to be is Antonio Brown against the Ravens secondary, and then the run defense against Le'Veon Bell. That could be the difference maker here. The Steelers' defense can be exposed. The Ravens do have the weapons. Granted, they don't have high quality weapons, but it's not impossible for the Ravens to win this one. Then you have the Patriots at the Dolphins Monday Night Football. I'm picking the Patriots here on the road. They're favored by 11.5. I believe they win and cover. No Rob Gronkowski for this one after his dirty hit on Tre'Davious White. I understand his frustration. I do. The refs were calling ridiculous calls against him. They didn't call the pass interference or the holding on Tre'Davious White on that play. They called pass interference on Gronk earlier in the game when he made even less of a move against Tre'Davious. It was just horrible officiating, but the NFL doesn't care. So without him in this one, the refs don't have anybody to penalize for needless reasons. Patriots should win this one. Dolphins are terrible, and Adam Gase is going to get his comeuppance for his disrespectful play calling towards the Broncos in last week's game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know who you think's going to win, and let me know who you think is on upset alert, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.